All right, so this is the Planning and Development Committee meeting, and we are starting at 7:03 p.m. So good evening. Tonight, it's myself and Councilwoman Carla Grant. Justin Booth is not in attendance. Our first order of business, I think, is we have a couple of citizens here to discuss a city boundary zoning issue. No? It
Can't talk. To be unannexed.
right, yeah, so it's a boundary issue. Yeah, okay. Do you want to tell us what you're?
Yeah. Brett and Lisa McKnight, 16825 Riverside Drive. I can give you this if you want.
Okay.
We are filing a petition with the county commissioners. And anyway, this is a plat map. This is all recorded. That's all property. Showing you township. Side is front. We've been there for 50 years.
Carla, you want to?
And in 1989, the city asked my father.
What year?
1989.
89, okay.
And we've been there since 71.
Okay.
If they let Dad annex them into the city, that we would get city utilities. That was 32 years ago. So anyway, we are wanting to request it be put back into the township the way it was.
So my question is, properties on either side of you, are they in the city? They're
No,
township.
See, I highlighted it there.
So there's no.
The juvenile center behind us is the only place that's in the city.
Okay.
And then they annexed the stuff from that.
So
we're setting between. We're in the county. I mean, we're counting on both sides.
Which is here, but you're on the hillside behind it.
Yeah, we're on Riverside Drive right before the jail.
I thought Fredericks were in. Mr. Frederick was in the city.
According to that, it's not.
I'm certain that he is.
So, like, to me, like, I hear what you're saying. To me, this is an issue that we really need to talk to the city attorney about, because if property's on either side of you, and I'm not talking about like behind you,
right,
but like on sides of you, if they're in the city, like you can't take a chunk of property out of the city.
We've already been to the county commissioner and investigated all of that.
So to me, this is something that really needs to go to our city attorney to see if it's
because they told us the same thing at county commissioner's office, that it had to be touching township. That's why they
yeah, that's what I don't understand exactly.
Yeah, we got annexed from behind.
This is you from behind. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Does that not show the jail in the city either?
It shows SEPTA in the city, but then this all says the Talking College Charitable Trust land. Is that vacant land?
That's over the crest of the hill and across the road. Forest.
Yeah. So who's on this side of you?
Like that's just dirt.
Township.
Okay,
this is
sorry,
forest.
Yeah.
This is all forest township.
Okay,
This is township. This is township.
So where's like I know Justin Booth lives up that way. Like where is his house? Where's
it'd
be down here this way further.
Yeah.
So it's a weird line how it goes up through there. It goes.
See the way they took the jail in? They took it up the power line out 29 Hollow. There's a jail. That's a juvenile center.
This is the
Southeastern Ohio Regional Jail.
So
this is juvenile center. This ain't SEPTA.
This is SEPTA right here. This is SEPTA here.
You're right. Yeah,
and then
that's
this is the charitable. This is the charitable. This says it's Talking College. To me, like we need to have Bob look at that.
Okay.
And see.
Right, but I had to go meet the plat map, take it back down to the commissioner. He goes, yeah, you're good.
So this is coming over the hill. This is going down the hill.
Yeah.
So Justin's down here.
Yeah, Justin's down here, but
here's some help if you guys can. That's the county line. The Reds, Nelsonville.
Yep. Well.
So that's your house right there,
if they got it right.
Because trust me, the lines are kind of.
Because the way it goes down Riverside Drive, there's actually a zigzag.
I don't understand like why we would even need it ever to have brought them in.
Because they just.
So in 1989.
And this should have been Fredericks right here.
That was on council.
Yeah.
So Frederick is the end of the city.
Yeah.
He's in the city. And the line stops directly at his driveway, like a few feet past. And then it goes to township and then it pops back in at their place,
because this way.
and it
Okay.
stays in all the way up to the
I see
jail.
what you're saying. I was gonna show this to Carla, just, but,
Can I
And
just
that's-
ask why you guys want them out?
Oh.
they don't
I'll,
have sewer,
whatever
they
they
don't
tell
have
me to do,
water.
I'll take care of
We
it.
have
I got
nothing
Lisa's
out
number,
there,
I get it
no
back.
city facilities
You're
at
in the
all,
city and you don't have any city.
Never had it.
and we've been paying
32 years.
taxes.
It doesn't
Yeah.
make sense why they would have. So
So
here's,
this is
so they
them?
were doing it, and then here's the.
You guys don't have
the
water
jail.
either, right?
No,
We
we
have
have
nothing.
nothing,
So they annexed them like,
and we asked
Here, they're right
about
here, they're
this,
right here.
what was it, 10 years
this
ago?
is township, this is all township.
You know.
Wow.
That's why we
You know
don't have
that-
sewer on our
You
street.
know how that happened,
In the back. This
that we wanted to come down tonight
One back.
and formally ask.
Oh.
Nobody has to spend.
So to me, I think this is something we need to ask our city, is this copies for us, that we can give the city attorney? That we need to ask our city attorney, Bob Toy, just to, I mean, like, I'm looking at this and I'm going like, yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me, but like, to me, like, we need to have his opinion about maybe why this was done to
Population.
start with. No, I mean, that would have made,
It was-
yeah, I
It
don't
was
know,
probably
right?
because they wanted to annex the jail in,
Probably, but,
okay?
but then
Well,
this-
they were supposed to come up that road, they told everyone they were gonna have water and sewage to clear up that road.
Wait a minute. That's in two totally different years, it's
Okay.
10 years apart.
Yeah,
They
okay,
get built in
yeah.
2000.
So I see what you're saying. So, yeah, to me, this is something that really needs to be referred to our city attorney to just investigate
Why it was done. to
why
begin
maybe
with
it was
and
done
why-
to begin with and what was said when it was done, so that we can then make a determination. I hear what
But it
you're
was a
saying.
mayor's thing then. It was a mayor's.
Okay,
The bad part is I didn't even know until I talked to Lisa that they weren't sewer and water up
all
there,
right.
or I would have put that in the last,
Do you want sewer and
Right.
water?
I'd just rather be put back in the township.
Okay. So, I mean, yeah, to me, I think we need to refer it to our city attorney. I don't think it's
Just
anything
get
that
an
we can,
opinion.
to get like
Yeah.
an
And like I
official.
said, it wouldn't hurt if they had a letter to put with ours before we mail it in saying it's fine. But like I said, they wanted to check it out first. So I had to go get a plat map of my place and take it back down to the commissioner. She's like, you're good to go. That, every side.
Okay, so
But
we
she was
have,
concerned like you was at the beginning, like,
yeah,
wondering
and,
if it's
and,
done.
and I don't know, like, what we don't know. Obviously in 1989, you know, that was a long time ago, like.
How we know
I-
32
We
years.
tried to do
so, I
this.
don't-
And
A
then
few
we tried
years
to
ago.
ask it a few cents, and it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
now I'm finally like,
So
it's
I-
in
yeah.
my name the last 4 years. Now I'm just getting around to like, it's gotta get done.
Yeah, so I see what you're saying. So what I would like to do is, send this to our, city attorney, Bob Toy, and ask him to look into it and see if there's like any reason that we would like object to this.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yay
I
or
don't
nay?
know. Yeah.
or the
I-
process even.
Or yeah, just to see, I don't know.
Yep.
Cause I just don't feel like that we have enough knowledge to say, I don't wanna say something that I like.
There's no
think
gold
isn't
on the
so-
property, no problem.
Yeah. So, okay, no, so we have it, we'll give it to our city attorney, we have a council meeting Monday, so I will personally like
I
hand
think
this
my
to him.
number's on that first page of that petition. You can look there.
I got Brenda's number, or if not, I can get
You
it
got
to you.
Lisa's.
Yeah, right here.
I'm sorry, I don't know why you keep
You're
calling.
thinking my
My
sister.
sister-in-law.
I did it, sorry.
It's all right.
We have your number.
Okay.
Yeah, right, so we'll, like I said, I'll give this to Mr. Toy and ask him to look
Alright.
at it and get, and like, let us know what's
Okay.
up.
Thank you
Okay.
so much for
Appreciate
your
it.
time.
See you
Thank
guys.
no, appreciate
Okay.
it. Okay, so the second thing that we need to talk about is, AEP has, there's a grant opportunity through AEP that would allow the city to put in, 1 or 2 electric vehicle charging stations, for, people with electric cars. I think in looking over the stuff, like, the things that we want to make sure is that, we talked about, like, if we did this, that it should be probably on Columbus Street around the Dew House, so that people were like at the square where they were charging, to get into like our downtown core area so that they could go to eat someplace or go to do something, and they were like in the city versus like putting them on the edge of town.
So are these at no charge or do we have a certain
We would be
percent?
getting,
You want me to go through it real
Yeah.
quick? Okay, so, there's grant money, it fell out of the sky literally last week, and they contacted me immediately. because I've talked to her before, told her we were interested. They make 3 different levels of chargers, there's level 1, 2, and 3. And then, so what it is there's $100,000 available if you do 1 machine and $150,000 available if you do 2 machines. The machines themselves, with all the stuff that's required by AEP, cost $110,000 for both of them. So it's $55,000 each. So then that gives us $40,000 to install. Now, if we can stay below that $40,000 for installation, then we pay absolutely nothing. If it goes over that 40,000, then we would be responsible for the money out of pocket. In addition to the location Elizabeth just mentioned, as far as you can see it from Canal Street. If you're sitting there, you can see Rocky and you got the square. In addition to that, it requires 3-phase power, which is not super common around town. And there's 3-phase power behind, actually, that connects into the Dew House, but it's up in the air behind the mine and the old Majestic and all that. So I would suspect, and the guy's coming down, he hasn't emailed me back, it's possibly tomorrow or Friday, to actually look at it and give me an install cost. And that way I can bring it to you folks for, it would have to be a quick decision. I don't think it's going to be available for Monday, but maybe the following council meeting for you guys to tell me to go forth and conquer. Because one of the big stipulation is the project has to be done by end of January. So
We could even, if we had to, have a 5-minute special
Yeah,
meeting to do that.
So-
so that's something we could pass like under emergency at the first October meeting.
So then the thing you guys would have to decide is the next step. So you can charge people for power and have absolutely zero cost, right? So it would, if they, put in their card and paid $6 or whatever to charge it up, or they can pay through their app, there'd be zero cost to the city. One of the strategies that I've heard about is people put them in and they're free for the first year or two, and the city just pays the power, and just to get people to get used to coming here, and then you institute the fees. Now, that's all up to you folks and what you want to do. It's just an idea that was shared with me, and I wanted to pass it along. So,
Do we know the cost for like us? Like you say, they would pay $6. Do we know like what the electric would be billed to us?
so we're only billed what is used. So if we charge them, they will be charged for what they use. So then there would be
Actual
zero expense to the
No, I mean,
city.
if we don't charge them, what would?
It depends
our
on the
cost?
usage. So there's another one over on the parking lot for
Opera House.
Opera House, but it's a level 2 station. So what that means is you got to sit there for hours to get charged, like 8 hours. Justin was telling me theirs takes 23 hours. So it's only been used 5 times in the last 3 months. With that said, I don't know how much power is consumed in that amount of time, but this one being the level 3, they'd be able to stop for 30 minutes to an hour and get a significant charge out of it and move along. And when I was talking to the manufacturer on the phone, he was saying like $6 an hour should cover the cost. And then we can adjust that. They can pay with their credit card in the machine, or they can, like I said, pay over the app. And those services are included in that 55,000 each, because that's part of the deal. AEP wants us to have them in place for 4 years and have all this stuff, because AEP wants to track the data. They want to know it real well. So again, if we can get it installed for 40,000 or less, it's zero out-of-pocket expense. And then at that point, you guys decide if you want to charge them for usage or not, or if you want to kind of use that as a hook to draw people in.
And I think the thing to remember is that they are charging in lieu of gasoline, right? These are electric vehicles, and they're charging, and a lot of these things around the country, like you pay a fee to charge, but remember, like they're not paying, $2 and whatever a gallon of gas. Yeah, so $6 for 300 miles, if that's the range of your electric vehicle, is not a bad outlying cost.
We just need
Or-
to figure out a good.
Yeah, we
price.
just have to figure out a place. I think if we do it, it only makes sense to do the fastest charging as possible, because I think that will bring more people to stop if they know that they can stop here for an hour and go from pretty much zero to a full charge. And doing it, like we said, like at that Columbus Street area of the, square, because that will bring people to our downtown area, which is what we want, is to bring people into town for commerce and exploring.
And the only concern or threat, if you will, is if we start moving in different directions, the availability of electricity. So if you guys have an idea, I can definitely go look and see if it's there. And then when they come down to do the quotes, I can certainly ask for that area.
I really think that that's like the best.
Yeah,
Because to
especially if
me,
it's already there.
to me,
the
you would want it like at the square area, but it also makes sense that I have it like directly on the square. So like, to me, that area of Columbus Street makes the most
So
sense.
how much parking is there in front of that little cafe there, do you know?
So there's the crosswalk that's back about 10, 15 feet. And there's used to be the bike rack there, which we can put back there. And so I would suggest where the crosswalk is, do the first, well, there's no painted spots anymore, but paint 2 spots directly behind the crosswalk. So the 2 cars, if they were, both in there, the back of this back car would be lined up with the edge of the do house coming forward. So it's not super close to the square, but you can see it from Rocky Boot Way. And
So somebody
They
was
wouldn't
driving
have
down.
a problem with that though, always. Cause no one else really could park there, right,
No.
in case someone else wanted to pull in.
right,
Right.
we
So they might have an issue with that, maybe, I don't know.
well, without the parking meters anymore. So for example, the square, we're gonna paint all the lines back there. That's not gonna be a problem. We're actually adding, so we found out that we were deficient with handicap spots. We didn't have enough and they weren't compliant. So we're gonna rectify that after they get done sealing the square. There's actually gonna be more handicap spots. I would think for the do house, the handicap spots would be more valuable than the ones on the side.
Honestly, I mean, like, I drive Columbus Street a lot, and rarely are there cars parked there on the side of the do house on Columbus Street. Because when I used to go, into the bank, which I just now go to the drive-through, but when I used to go into like Nelsonville Home and Savings, that's where I would park, and like, there's literally, I mean, I hardly ever see anybody parked in those there, in those spaces.
I mean,
So,
they wouldn't have any concern that it's cutting down their business or anything like that.
oh, I don't think so.
I mean, the do house isn't, I mean, you have the coffee shop there,
That's what
but
I meant.
to be
Yeah.
honest with you, the crowd we're looking for would love that coffee shop.
Oh,
Yeah.
So that's they're very complimentary of each other.
No, that sounds,
Okay.
sounds good to me.
Yes, I'm
I'll-
good, so I guess you got to do a little more information gathering, and if you could let us know Monday if you have it.
That's all I wanted was the green light. I don't
Yeah.
want to waste these folks' time coming
Yeah,
down
yeah.
here if you guys weren't interested and all.
No, I think it makes sense, and I
Yeah.
think, this, is the future, right? I mean, electric vehicles and being able to do that, and having those charging stations. I know, like, there's a few on campus in Athens, and I see them being used quite a bit, and I'll be honest, I see more electric vehicles driving anymore. I see a number of, like, Teslas in this area now. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, there are several that park in the parking lot I park in at OU. So, I mean,
Those machines know exactly what kind of cars park there too.
yeah,
Because the guy, when he's riding along 2 Teslas, a Leaf, going through
Yeah.
the whole list, I was like,
yeah, I think when they plug in, it like captures all that data. So, okay, that's good.
I will press forward on that and report back what I find out. Hopefully I have some quotes for my manager's report on Monday,
Okay.
just to give you guys an update. And then you guys can decide if we need to do another meeting or if we just want to do an ordinance for the following meeting to, apply and see if we get it and everything else.
That works for me.
Oh, the last thread on that, the lead time for the machine. So the reason why I picked the machine manufacturer that we did is because they have the shortest amount of lead time. The rest of them, because of COVID, they can't get a machine before they can't get a machine in before the installation deadline
Mhm.
of the end of January. So that's the kicker. And that's all I have. I appreciate you picking a meeting, and I do have some ordinances. I forgot to put you on it when I sent the email earlier today that I would like you guys to look at as far as code goes and different ways to enforce code.
Okay.
So I'll get that over to you. I apologize.
Okay, that's good. I have nothing else. Do you have anything else?
I do not know.
Okay, so with that being said, we're going to adjourn this meeting at 7:22 PM.